How's it going, YouTube? You got Pat Mac here, coach of the Sacramento Saints / and we are back with another video for y'all today. We actually have joined another league, so just kind of keeping in mind, I believe videos that you will have seen by the time this one goes up. We're in the Sinners Draft League. We're actually pretty close to the end of that one. It's a pretty small league. Not very many people looking to play Wi-Fi LAN singles games, so that one's pretty close to over. And we just joined the Rocket Draft League, which is another singles Wi-Fi league. And we are back here with the UGA. It's in their second season, and this is a VGC, so a doubles Wi-Fi league. It is using essentially the Series 7 rule set, so none of the big scary Ubers Pokemon like Mewtwo and Solgaleo and crazy stuff like that in this league. So just kind of keeping an eye on what kind of Pokemon are out there, what you can expect from the metagame. Think Series 7 VGC. So anyway, you can see on the screen right here that we went with a first pick of, we grabbed our tier 1. We weren't first pick of the entire draft, but we were in first round essentially. Anyway, round 1, we decided to go with Moltres Galar. And really excited to use this Pokemon. Just from kind of checking out sets, it's kind of got one set in my opinion. It's kind of got the like flying move, Fiery Wrath, Protect, and another move of some kind. Is kind of my thoughts on what it's capable of doing. However, this thing hits like a truck. Fiery Wrath being a spread move is super powerful. Really awesome Dynamax target. Berserk is a freaking crazy ability. Getting that free special attack boost when we get below half is kind of crazy. And then of course, like, there's a bunch of different sets out there that we could run with it in terms of like EV spreads and items and stuff like that. Either way, gives us a really solid start to our draft. Because it gives us a direction, right? It gives us like, so what Pokemon kind of pair really well with Moltres Galar? What Pokemon do we want to add to our team that can break the things that Moltres Galar can't handle? In general, though, the way VGC works, in my opinion, it's really more synergy based, and there's a lot less of trying to break down a threat because of how offensive VGC can be. Anyway, Moltres Galar, super powerful offensive Pokemon. So really excited to use this. I actually have never tried using it in VGC, so this is like first time being having a chance to touch this Pokemon and get a chance to use it. So really excited to try it out. I think it'll be really cool. Anyway, so thinking about like what things pair really well with Moltres Galar, well, that's a pretty easy one. Freaking Comfy does. This Pokemon is nuts. So just the priority Draining Kiss to proc a weakness policy, and then I think the move's called Floral Healing. Anyway, you can heal an ally. So if our Galarian Moltres drops below half, we get the Berserk ability. We go up above half, right? And then if we get hit again and we go below half, we get the Berserk boost again. So being able to pair this with Galarian Moltres is just so good. Really sweet Pokemon, aside from just that even, right? Like, those two abilities alone make it a really good pair for Galarian Moltres, but it also has stuff like Trick Room. It's also got stuff like Taunt. The priority healing is really nice, so really awesome Pokemon. Oh, I did forget to mention Ally Switch, also a really good ability that we can use to play some 50-50s with some people. So really good support Pokemon. Really happy to pick this one up. Now, we can go in a lot of different directions, and I think that the idea behind playing VGC is you want to get synergies and kind of cover some weaknesses. So we decided to go for Pikachu Gmax as our Gmax pick for this league. Now, this one was a really interesting pick. At this point, there hadn't been very many Gmax Pokemon taken, and one thing that was interesting about how they have their tier set up here is that some of the Gmax Pokemon will give you more points for the free picks you have, and Pikachu Gmax was one of those. So I really wanted to have the Lightning Rod ability to kind of protect our Galarian Moltres a little bit more. So Pikachu Gmax, right, having that Lightning Rod ability is really solid for us there, so a good way to support that Galarian Moltres, as well as just like, I forget the name of the Gmax move. I think it's like Volt Crash or something like that, but essentially it's a Nuzzle, right? It just makes their Pokemon paralyzed, so even bringing this as a way to Gigantamax and get some paralyzes up and get some speed control that way could be really solid for us too. This also has the ability to like side proc a weakness policy if we want to do that kind of shenanigans as well. Without being a very like strong attacking Pokemon, we can EV it so that we don't take much damage from like a Volt Switch or something like that, for example. So really good support to go along with our Galarian Moltres, as well as like having some good speed control options from that direction too. So pretty excited to use this one, plus getting the extra points is always nice. We can always do a lot of good stuff with more points available for us. Okay, so we decided to go in our next pick for Toracat. And this was just to give us like a really solid tier 3 pick. I think that this Pokemon is just very good. Mini Incineroar is sweet, so having access to Parting Shot, having access to Fake Out, having Taunt, having Intimidate, like it's got a lot of the stuff that that Incineroar has, while also not being as powerful as Incineroar. So being a tier 3, I think we get a really solid Pokemon here. I'm pretty excited to use this. Because it also is like a faster threat too, so having kind of a, I guess maybe not a threat, but a faster Pokemon for sure. I think it'd be really solid for us as well. So getting like faster Parting Shots off could mean that we get the damage reduction on them before they get a chance to attack, where oftentimes Incineroar is doing it post-attack. So really excited to use this Pokemon. I think it's going to work out and pair really nicely with a lot of stuff going on. Now, one thing that I think is super important for VGC comes with our next Pokemon, and that's Tangela. So getting a redirection in VGC is super, super important. There's so many strategies involved around hitting your ally, right? So hitting them with some kind of super effective move, kind of like us, right? Kind of like using Draining Kiss on Galarian Moltres to proc a weakness policy, right? It's the same kind of idea. So we want to be able to have some redirection out there to pull away those side proc weakness policy strategies with that Rage Powder. And Tangela is just like can be super, super tanky with Eviolite to just take a bunch of hits. Also has some abilities to, like it's got Sleep Powder as an option. It's got Knockoff, so there's some other things that Tangela can do for us, but like my main thinking behind grabbing this pick was we wanted to get some redirection so that we can mess with kind of the stuff that they're doing, also while keeping some of our Pokemon safe from some big attacks. Now, so we have a lot of really solid defensive pieces, right? We have a lot of ways where we're not taking a whole lot of damage from stuff. We could use some more ways to dish out some damage or potentially set up on some stuff, and we decided to grab that with Corbinite. Now, Corbinite is just going to be a really good solid Pokemon for us. I think having another flying type so that we can have that Lightning Rod ability. So, I mean, if Corbinite and Pikachu Gmax are out there at the same time, then Corbinite's really only got one weakness, and so that I think that's a really sweet combo that we can have there too. Corbinite giving us a Steel type as well, so we can Dynamax it, go for some Max Steel spikes, and raise some defenses that way too. I think it'd be really solid for us, as well as having that Max Airstream. So both of the max moves on Corbinite I think are really, really powerful. Really excited to use this Pokemon. It's got a lot of really good defensive utility for us. Not so much offensive, but it can. But we could go with like a Body Press ability. Bulk Up is an option. It's got Roost, so it's got some recovery too, so it can kind of stick around and be a nuisance. I think one thing that I really like about Corbinite is how well it can operate in Trick Room. A lot of the Pokemon that we have at the moment are kind of quick. Like they don't really want to be in Trick Room. I think Corbinite is one of those Pokemon that can work either in or out. It also gives us Tailwind support, so we can use it to kind of set up some extra speed control for us. However, if we are in Trick Room, then it's got a little bit lower speed stat, and it's got some really solid tanking options. So we can use this to stall some Dynamaxes, which I think would be really solid for our team. Now, what we decided to go with for our next pick was, again, needing some more offensive threat. Now, unfortunately, I wanted to go for Latios here, and it got picked. It either got picked before the Corbinite pick, or it got picked after Corbinite. I forget which one. Either way, I really wanted Latios because it's got some more offensive pressure, but Latios is still going to bring a solid amount of damage. It's got some really solid stats, and this kind of helps us finish off that Dragon Steel Fairy Core. So I think that is a really great combination for us to have going into some of these battles. Latios also has a lot of good support options. It's also got Tailwind, so along with Corbinite, this one's a faster Pokemon, right? Latios has a speed of 110, so this is actually the fastest Pokemon that we've picked up so far. And it's got a lot of really solid options. The move pool for Latios is just massive, so if you've ever played singles, you have a good idea about that. There's a lot of good special attacking moves for this. So really excited to try out Latios and get a chance to play with it in some doubles. Now, our next pick was kind of looking at our team. We are mostly wanting to operate out of Trick Room. I think I've mentioned that like Corbinite can work inside of it, and Tangela's a little bit slower too, so it could work inside of Trick Room as well. However, like ideally, we're not in Trick Room. And this next pick, picking up Bronzor, makes it so that we don't have to be in, right? Bronzor has Trick Room as well as having Imprison, so we can use that Imprison Trick Room strategy so that anytime we're up against someone who looks like they're a very hard Trick Room team, or it looks like that's kind of one of their big game plans, we can have Bronzor out there, hit that Imprison, so we can stop that from happening, keep us in kind of that normal speeds tiers, and you can go to town from there. This also adds to our list of Pokemon that have Ally Switch along with Comfey and Latios. So really sweet combination there. But yeah, really wanted to have this, have the options of either setting up Trick Room ourselves or stopping it, which I think is Bronzor's gonna help us out. And it is a tier 4 pick, right? So it's not as powerful as some of these other Pokemon, but at the same time, it's gonna fill the role that we want to fill. So our next pick, we're looking to finish off our Fire, Water, Grass core by picking up Lapras. One thing I think is super important for draft leagues just in general is to have access to an ice type. There's a lot of teams out there that are weak to ice, so having Lapras I think is a really solid combination for us. Also has some really good abilities. Water Absorb, of course, is amazing to stop those water hits coming in, and Shell Armor stopping those crits is really nice too. Now, notice that this is not Gmax Lapras, right? So we don't get the Aurora Veil off of our Ice move if we decide to Dynamax this. However, still really solid Pokemon. Has some good stats. It can be similar to Gmax Lapras in terms of like we could run it as like a tanky Life Orb hitter. We can also do some side proc weakness policy with Comfey as well, with some little, I think it's Giga Drain is what we probably use. So another option for us to pair with some of the stuff that we have going on right now. Also, like again, completes that Fire, Water, Grass core with the Toracat and Tangela. So I think it's a really solid pick for us. I'm really happy to have drafted Lapras. Now with our next pick, so one thing I actually haven't mentioned is that the Latios for the free points was a tier 2, and the Lapras was a tier 3. And now we don't actually, because of the Gmax Pikachu, we are able to now go for another tier 2 Pokemon and another tier 1 Pokemon actually. So we have some really powerful picks that we're able to finish off our draft with, and I wanted to leave myself open to a couple of different options here. And the option that, oh man, I'm so excited to play this Pokemon because I think it works really well with the stuff that we have going on, and that is Nidoking. So Nidoking, we have several flying Pokemon, right? We have Corbinite, and we have Galarian Moltres, and we also have a Levitate Pokemon with Latios. So Nidoking being a ground type, we can just spam some Earthquakes and get some like spread damage against both opponents. So really excited to play this along with our team. It does also have the options of going like with a Sheer Force and Life Orb set. So and like with those, usually I see it as mostly like a special attacking set when those kind of drafts get put together. However, Nidoking just hits really hard. And I don't think of speed tiers as much when I start getting into VGC. I think of it a little bit more when I'm thinking about singles. However, if we're looking at the speeds on our tier, on our team, we did have a bit of a gap between some of our Pokemon that we really wanted to fill here. There was a gap between Corbinite with a speed of 67 and then with a speed of 90 for a couple of our Pokemon at Pikachu, Galarian Moltres, and Toracat, I believe. So this gives us a little bit of that speed in between there, so we can kind of force some speed EVing in terms of speed creeping to make prep a little more difficult for our opponents. And then of course, this also threatens so much. Like one thing that's really nice about the Nidos, both King and Queen, is that their coverage is really good. They have a lot of really powerful options for different attacks. So Nidoking gives us a lot of coverage on our team, which is really nice. So it gives us kind of that versatility. Definitely a really big offensive piece and something that our team was really looking for. And to round out our draft, we went back up to tier 1 to grab Gyarados. Now Gyarados gives us another Intimidator, so if we want to pair like a double Intimidate against a team that has a lot of physical attackers, we have Gyarados as that option. Or, probably more likely, we can run it with Moxie, and so we can look for this to be a huge threat for people, and get some of those Moxie boosts off and just start going to town and really sweep through some teams. Has a lot of different options in terms of being this really strong offensive threat, between going for like Assault Vest strategies. We could do some Life Orb on it. We can also do, I don't know if we could, oh yeah, no, actually we could totally do a weakness policy set on this too. We have some options there too. So really strong Pokemon, really powerful. Has a huge attacking stat, so it gives us a lot more power, which is something that our team is lacking a little bit. I may have to look at that in free agency. However, I think that our team looks really strong. I'm really excited to use it. And Gyarados really kind of adds some more of that power to it. So really looking forward to that. We could also run this with some setup, which I think would be really sweet. Anyway, so here's the full team right there. All those Pokemon in all their glory. So really excited to use this one. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel so you can see when we got new videos up. Like I said, this is the UGA, so this is going to be a doubles VGC league. Definitely stick around and get some content for doubles as well as our singles content out there too. Anyway, thanks for sticking around and watching the video, and hope you have a fantastic time. We'll see you on the next video.